Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Christ the Lord. It went a bit wobbly. Did I pull it back or not?
I feel sorry for the audio listeners who had to go through that experience. You are listening to Claret Blue, an Aston Villa podcast brought to you by Birmingham Live. So, episode 6 of the Claret Blue podcast. We thought we'd give you a little bonus episode with Matt Kendrick's back in the hot seat, by the way.
Kendrick's back?
Because you weren't here for the last...
You're just talking about my back?
Oh, no, that'd be weird. You weren't here for episode 5, were you? Did you listen? Did you enjoy it?
I thought I couldn't find fault in it, to be honest.
Is that because you couldn't find it? You didn't listen to it?
I didn't listen to it.
But
I've read some of the iTunes reviews who are saying really nice things about it. 5 stars.
Yeah, nice. Okay, Ash, welcome back.
Hey, how you doing? You're right.
Things have changed since Monday, and you're now a dad.
Yes, I am. Yeah, had the scare in the press box. Would you believe, in the Trinity Road stand during the Liverpool game? Just finished actually. So should I tell them about that now? Or
yes, yeah.
Go straight into it.
Tell us the story.
So yeah. Wesley just scored. He's making a nightmare of my player ratings.
It's not Wesley's, is he?
No, it's not Wesley's. No.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so I'm finishing up my player ratings. Okay, about to follow them off to the desk. And my mates come sprinting down. I've heard this loud, like, sound like a drunk, like shouting, Ash! I was like, who's that? And it's my mate Kyle, who sits in the upper Trinity. You got to go now. I was like, got to go where? To the press conference. What are you on about? And he goes, so I was in labour. She's a water pro. Gotta go now. Bearing in mind, my little one was due January 16th. My phone's on silent. It's got literally 100 missed calls. Zara's sister, Zara's mum and dad, where are you? Call me urgently. It's all going off. And there's me, a blasé to it all. I've got to get my ratings to shine. What about these player ratings? Shining again? Anyway, I've
top priority.
Literally just felt like a zombie. Then I'm walking down the concourse, but I wasn't even barging past through people. People have running. What's he dude there carrying a laptop? Just out in his different world, and walked through. My mate went, "Do you want to set your laptop for you?" I went, "No, it's all right, I got it." And
got some work to do.
Literally, I'm walking through the back to the press zone. I thought, send these ratings quick while I got Wi-Fi. And
that is ever the professional.
Anyway, I thought, come on,
gotta love that commitment.
So I've got to get to Heartlands Hospital now, and literally running towards the car park where the press park on the Brookvale. Stuck in traffic, so I thought, best of my video verdict then. So I sent my video verdict to Kieran saying, yeah, Kodjia's back in the goals. Bearing in mind, Zara at this point, waters are broke, but the baby's about to come. I'm there like, Kodjia just scored. Anyway, so
traffic, there's nothing you can do, is there? So
I eventually make it to Heartlands Hospital, and and then literally within an hour, we're going down for an emergency C-sec, and next thing you know, little Penny Preece is born, so she's doing well.
You told me you called her Pongo McGrath Benteke, you said?
It was going to be a boy for Wesley, but no, it was a boy. But we're going to be little Penelope Preece, and she's doing well. I've got to go back there up after this podcast, so don't keep you too long. But no, that was the story. I thought it was quite apt, funny, and I'll never forget that. So yeah, thanks to Kyle. Yeah. I
mean, you just know, don't you, that was going to happen at a Villa game. It was inevitable, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, it was, yeah. It's a good job I weren't in the old 10 points deep, so that saved me there. So, yeah.
But it's one thing being professional enough to kind of do your video verdict and your player out and stuff like that. But letting us drag you in today when you need to stock up on your sleep, mate. If the missus is still in the hospital, you need to kind of bank that sleep.
I'll learn the hard way, Matt. I thought I'm in work. My last game will be Southampton on Saturday. Just walk while the baby and missus are in hospital, and then I can have more time at home with them pair. So it makes sense, and I'll hopefully see out Saturday with a win, and that's me done for a bit. So yeah.
I was telling Dan before we started that my lad, my eldest kid, when he was born, my wife's waters broke, or so she thought, when I was at St Andrews, and it was the day when Eduardo knackered his leg, Martin Taylor broke his leg. Awesome. So I got this biggest story to happen on the patch, that month or that year or whatever. Yeah. I got I got the call from my wife saying, "Come on, it's happening, it's happening." I couldn't wait to get out there, mate. I didn't bother. I left one of my colleagues, the guy called Rob Tanner. I said, "Listen, do us a favour, file this for the Merc, will you? You know, I'm sure that Eduardo thing, it's only a minor knock or something like that. Don't worry about it." I was out of there, mate. False alarm. Arrived 2 days later. But moral of the story is swerve doing some work. So
nice.
Could learn a lot, mate.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any birth stories, but enough chat about kids. Aston Villa beat the Liverpool kids. 5-0. I was preparing that all day, mate. I can't even tell you. I'm so glad I've got it out in one piece. Weird game, wasn't it? You were both there. I watched on TV because I'm not paying those ticket prices, and they came out at 40 quid or whatever it was. It was really weird, wasn't it?
Was well weird. One of the weirdest games I've been to be honest. Didn't know what to make of it. Liverpool started really well, and next thing you know, Villa whacked in 4 against them, thinking, how did that happen? It's a really dour game. Fair play to Liverpool, a couple of 16-year-olds, Harvey Elliott.
Elliott looked good.
It says a lot. Nolan was Villa's man of the match for me. So Nolan played really well. Smith said, "We've got some minutes in the tank for some of the players, and we've got a semi-final to look forward to. Let's move on." It was a bit of a farce, wasn't it? Made the competition look a bit of a farce as well. Yeah, competition Villa fans have fell in love with over the years. So shame, but
I don't take the gloss off it if we win it, though, will it?
Nah, exactly.
That's true. Yeah. It's weird, wasn't it? Because there was obviously the talk before we knew what they were going to do about, are they going to forfeit the tie, or are they going to send a mixed squad, or will it be all youth? And obviously when they finally decided and they put out the squad list that were going to Qatar, and you got, okay, well, there's going to be nobody in this side that we know of from the first team. You kind of looked at it as there's all this talk beforehand about it being a no-win scenario for Villa, that if we win, everyone will go, oh, it's just Liverpool kids, like, what did you expect? And if we lose, it's a national embarrassment and we'll never hear the end of it. So you kind of just look at it now as a formality win, and we move on to the semi-final.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting to start with, because I think it was the case that you got a lot of Villa players who are a bit rusty because they haven't had that much action, because Dean Smith's trusted the kind of core of his team for most of the season. So they, to me, started the game as if they needed to play their way into the game and almost kind of, just kind of recalibrate and just remember how to play football. So you got that. You got these rusty players who are trying to kind of adapt and get used to playing football again. And then you got these kids who are kind of just like supercharged, been necking the fruit shoots clearly before the game, just got buzzing with energy. Playing, pressing quite hard. You're thinking, this ain't going to get to plan.
Yeah, first 10 minutes was horrible.
It's a bit tense. I mean, I thought the Liverpool fans were brilliant.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I was watching on TV, so it doesn't really come across the sound, does it?
They were pretty loud. I mean, I think Villa Park was a little bit flat, but you probably are a little bit flat if you think you go into a Super Cup tie and you actually go into, the kind of local schools community shield or whatever it is. But I'll tell you what I also found interesting. And this has happened after the Sheffield United game and after the Liverpool game, and I've seen different responses online to it. We know Dean Smith's a class act. Chris Wilder, after the Sheffield United game, has come out and said, I've got to take my hat off to Dean Smith and his staff. They waited in the tunnel, they shook the hands of all of my players, congratulated us. I thought that was a real touch of class from an opposition manager who's just lost the game. People online saying, you shouldn't be doing that, you should have been in the dressing room dishing out kind of rollickins and kind of tearing a strip off him, never mind all this. And then after we won against Liverpool, their under-23s boss has come out and said, I just want to take my hat off to Dean Smith and his staff. They come into the dressing room and they've, a real big moment for these kids. And then everyone's going, because we won the game, everyone's going, brilliant, what a class act. And just thinking,
come on.
He's a class act, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just kind of, I know people get really down in the depths of despair after a defeat and they get really high after a win. But just have a bit of a level with that.
What do you think of him doing that in both scenarios? Is it a classy thing, or should he be doing what people are saying? Should he be a little bit more?
He's always done it. I think,
hard?
Especially you see him at Villa Park, standing by the tunnel, shakes every player's hand.
I like it.
Yeah, it's classy, and it shows nature of the man. You could have been tapping a few Liverpool youngsters up.
That's it. You can see two of their stars on loan in January. You'll be thinking.
I remember Dean. Yeah, I like him. I'm going to sign for Villa. So nah.
Yeah, it's just nice. Just weird, wasn't it? A weird game, but I think the main talking point that's come from it is Kodjia versus Wesley, obviously Kodjia gets the start, which I think we kind of called for, didn't we? In last,
yeah, we did, yeah.
Not even last week's episode, the episode from 2 days ago, whatever it was. 2 goals for him. The question is now: is that enough for him to? Is the questions that he should be starting in the Premier League?
It would have been if Wesley didn't score, I think.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? So Wesley scores like last kick, and I think Smith's thinking, okay, got goal for confidence there. Might throw you in against Southampton. So who knows? Kodjia gives Smith food for thought now. 2 good finishes.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What do you reckon, Matt?
I think that he'll go with Wesley.
Of course.
Again, I think if I'm being honest, I think he probably always would have gone with Wesley. I was surprised to see Wesley come on for the last however long it was. What was it, 10 or 15?
It's 15 or 20, I think.
Yeah,
minutes
got 20
towards the
minutes.
end. We've been crying out for the guy to get a rest. I mean, in hindsight, it looks like a bit of a masterstroke from Dino to get him on for the last few minutes. I think it was one of the last kicks of the game that actually got him the goal. But we've spoken before, haven't we, whether with Wesley, whether it's confidence or energy. I think it's a mixture of both, but I actually think the confidence boost that he'll be getting, albeit scoring against Liverpool under 13s, I think that'll be it just takes a little bit of pressure off him.
Yeah.
That in effect I think will have a knock-on effect with his energy. So I don't think Smith trusts Kodjia enough to play in the Premier League.
Yeah, because we said, didn't we, he's had opportunities to substitute him on and he's not done that. So you think that he's going to stick with that thought. But then you can't look past that. He's come on or started the game and scored 2 decent goals.
I think he could have done any more, to be honest. I thought
exactly.
he kind of made some really intelligent runs. He scored the 2 goals. I think there were a couple of grumbles when he did trademark Kodjia and overcomplicate the extra step over, but I don't think that happened too often. I think in terms of if you're Jonathan Kodjia, you're thinking, you've got to give me a chance.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because we've said, haven't we, about Smith kind of giving the opportunity, then showing that there's a pathway into the team. Is there not a better pathway than scoring 2 in the week, and then you get your chance to try your hand in the Premier League?
And what's nice as well, Kodjia scoring 2 and Wesley sitting on the bench watching that, thinking, oh.
Well, yeah, because you said, didn't you? Like, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Like, does Kodjia kind of feel any fear from? No, I've got that
way
wrong.
around.
Wesley
don't try and get feel any fear out again.
If Wesley doesn't feel any fear from Kodjia,
you ain't going to get a reaction.
He's not going to care, is he? He's going to think, well, I'm playing every week. Whereas now he's going to be thinking, Jesus, he's had his chance there. He scored 2.
Yeah.
He's claiming 3, but he's only scored 2. Now there is that bit of fear there now.
Yeah, exactly.
To think if I play poorly against Southampton, there's going to be 2 games in a week. Kodjia might play in those.
So yeah.
I think Smith will be looking at.
Coming a little bit.
Sorry about that. Just readjust my position. I think Smith
posture.
will be. Actually, I need to sort the posture. Actually, I need a bloody big stick up my back. What was I saying now?
Sorry, mate.
I think Smith will be looking at the longer term as well, because I think he'll think it's more important for me to keep Wesley sweet. Kind of expensive signing, young kid who's trying to kind of. Really build into a Premier League player, as opposed to Jonathan Kodjia, who's going to be out the door certainly next summer if he doesn't leave in January. I think he'll think, as much as it'll be a blow to Kodjia leaving him out after scoring 2, it would be even more of a blow to Wesley leaving him out after scoring 1.
True.
He's backed Wesley when he hasn't been anywhere close to scoring. And again, I know we've got to put this in context of Liverpool kids and stuff, but I just think Smith would perhaps think that would send out the wrong message to Wesley.
Yeah, true.
Definitely, yeah.
What did you think to the reaction on social media after the game from Liverpool fans?
What was that?
They were just like...
I was too busy at the hospital.
Come
on, Ash. God, show some professionalism for God's sake.
You've got Twitter on your phone, haven't you? Jeez. I totally forgot about that. I'll ask you instead. It was like kind of like this weird, like, the whole, what did they expect? Like there was a picture of Elmo.
I was getting Ash some coffee in
There's a picture of Elmo. He celebrated and he's like this, isn't he, to the crowd, and they're all like, he's acting like he scored in the Champions League final at home in Paris. And it's like, we can only beat what Liverpool decided to play this team. What are we supposed to do? Not celebrate getting to a cup semi-final?
It was like
just because it's kids.
What was the Women's World Cup game in the summer? When was it USA who were kind of
striker?
They rattled in 10 goals today or something. I should have more knowledge than this. And you're playing goals, you're playing football to win football matches, and to score goals. And I don't think just for the sake of sparing the feelings of I don't know, some spotty 15-year-old from bloody Kirby or whatever it is, I don't think that you shouldn't celebrate the goals that you score.
It's funny I would not mention the Elmo one because it was a deflection, wasn't it? So to be fair, he's giving it big for a goal.
Perhaps he should have let the Liverpool player celebrate that one. But yeah, I mean, I've seen loads of kind of memes and videos and stuff going round after that game.
Oh, down with the kids, aren't you?
I am, mate. Yeah, what is a meme? Is that like a modern fridge magnet or something?
We'll get to that later.
But there was you've thrown me again. Sorry, what was the one I was going to say? Oh, you've done it now, mate. What was it?
Do. Just a bit of elevator music while we wait.
Carry on, it'll come back to me. I'll just interject in a minute.
I don't know, I've got nothing else to say. I was hoping that you
can't let that kill the podcast.
To reel off a little bit more.
Memory lapse.
That's right. The punditry after, they was talking about this no-win situation that, you know, if you win, you expect to do. If you lose, it's an embarrassment. But I was kind of thinking, I understand what they're saying. Obviously, I'm not stupid. But it is a win situation because we're the ones through to a semi-final. Like, well, we're supposed to kind of just go, oh yeah, well, we don't deserve to be in the semi-final because it was only the kids. Like, it's a big deal to get to a semi-final.
Yeah, imagine if she was on the other foot and Liverpool won 5. I'd be gloating about it. Jurgen's in another semi, signed, brilliant. I forget Liverpool, we were in semi now. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a great tweet I saw after that was like complaining about the Liverpool fans complaining that they'd got a team of kids, and it was like the comparison that Jack Grealish tore them apart as a 18-year-old.
That was the one I was going to say.
Oh, was that the one?
Wembley.
Yeah. There we go. Come on, you can do it. You can take it.
No, it wasn't that good, was it really? I'm glad you said it in there.
Okay. But it's a good point though. They're moaning about their kids. Like, there's just a couple of talented players there, and they started well and could have gone ahead. And if it wasn't for Neelan, we'd have been 1-0 down after 10 minutes. Going, Jesus, this could be an embarrassment.
You say it was a kind of no-win situation. In effect, I think everybody's won out of it because Villa have got through to a semi-final and got a victory at a time when they really needed a boost and Villa Park needed a boost. Liverpool have decided that their priority was to go and play in Qatar.
Yeah.
They committed themselves to that and they did that. By doing that, making that decision, they effectively said, we're not really that fussed about this Carabao Cup competition. So the kids have had an opportunity to play in front of a 30,000, crowd, a lovely stadium, to really, really test themselves. And I thought they played very well. I thought 5-0 did flat for them
as well,
if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody has come out of it, other than we could say, the reputation of the competition. But we've had this with the FA Cup years ago when Man United chose to kind of toss it off. So the FA Cup's lived to fight another day. The Carabao Cup will live to fight another day.
Even Wesley's got a boost out of it as well, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, that's it.
There you go.
Listen,
John McGinn didn't play.
If that game had been staged just as a friendly for the purpose of Wesley scoring a goal, they could have made it easier by going for the under-12s rather than
harsh on Wesley.
He's harsh. We Wesley advocates here. We like Wesley.
Yeah. Do we? No, we do. We do.
Good team Kodjia over there. Scores 2 goals.
Yeah, I think that's a fair shout, though. Don't you?
I've got to apologise to Conor Horahan as well.
Why?
Conor, what's his name?
Conor Horahan. Got it right there, didn't I?
What have you done?
I was in the game and give the goal to Horahan. I'm going to refer back.
Conor.
No, his first one. And then I had the desk shouting to me saying, they'll give it Kodjia in Sky. They'll give it Kodjia the first on Sky. So I changed my report to Kodjia hat-trick because the desk Shane on the desk telling me they've given that Kodjia in the Sky studio. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm at the hospital and Hurahan's messaged me saying...
oh, really?
Yeah. You must... Yeah. That was never Kodjia's goal. It was my goal. And I went, listen, mate, yeah, totally understand. I thought Sky got it, so... And he goes, that's my 6th for the season, so yeah. Sorry, Conor. I did apologise, so yeah. And I told him I hope he starts Saturday, so just want to apologise to Conor there.
Just to suck up to him a little bit at the end.
But yeah.
You made me sick, Ash.
Sorry.
What kind of example are you to send to your young daughter making mistakes like that?
I know.
Right,
sorry.
Do you speak to Conor regularly? Is this a regular thing?
No, just call me out on it. So
just put you straight.
So put it straight, yeah.
Fair enough. We'll talk a little bit about... No, fair play to him. If you could claim every goal you get, can't you, as a midfielder? Exactly. I mean, I watched it on TV, and I don't think whether they actually gave it to Kodjia, but the commentators kept saying, he'll be going in at half-time claiming for it. They showed the replays, and he's not. He's close to it, but he definitely didn't touch it.
Well, I had a message from Wesley claiming both of Kodjia's goals.
Nice. We won't talk too much about Southampton because we've done that on Monday. You weren't here, so...
What did you say about him? Was he good?
I did not listen.
No.
What do you think? Saturday, are we going to win? That's all I'm going to ask.
Who are playing?
Southampton.
I think we will actually win.
Yeah.
I think we'll win on Saturday, and I think we'll win on what day's Boxing Day for them? So that, I'm in that Christmas frame of mind now.
Yeah. I don't know what day
Boxing Day. Yeah, I can't remember what we were tipping. I was saying 8 points, wasn't I? I was saying
I think so.
These next 4. Yeah, I think we will. I think we'll have a nice little Christmas boost of beating Southampton and Norwich. So
we need one.
Heard it here first.
Good. We'll come back and clip that out in a week and see if you're all right.
You might come back and clip it out in a week. You got next week off.
Don't shout that too loud. I'll be having to do stuff around the house if I know I've got the week off. I'm just going to pretend I'm going into the office instead. I want to talk a little bit about the news today about this FFP stuff, just because people are talking about it. So we'll throw our hat into the ring as well. Recording this later than usual. Obviously, I'm looking at you. I'm speaking to the viewers here. It's a Thursday at 5:30. Like, why we're doing this at this time, I don't know. It's your fault.
I think it's because visiting times. What 7 o'clock, something like that.
So I feel a bit weird anyway. But so since this morning, there's been 2 versions of this story. The first part breaks that I think it's the Daily Mail, is it?
Yeah, Mail Online. Yeah.
Someone from them is saying, and I don't know what their source is. Villa are in trouble with FFP, could be the first Premier League club to fail it, and we're going to have to sell players at some point, whether that be January or the summer, to comply with the rules. Since then, Rob Dorset has spoke to Dean Smith and said, that's not true, we don't need to sell players to balance the books, and there is no release clause in anybody's contract, in particular Jack Grealish, who the rumour was that there's a 45 million release clause in there. First of all, I think, how can that be true? Why would we ever put 45 million release clause? Why would we put that in that low? That's the first red flag.
It's a bit of a Fabian Delph situation again, isn't it? Although it's not quite the 8 million that was in Delph's contract.
When did he sign his latest contract in the Championship?
Last summer.
So was that the release fee if we stayed in the Championship, perhaps?
Who knows? Last summer, remember, he was on the cusp of going to Tottenham, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So.
And then he signed just after the window, didn't he? So maybe there's a story out there somewhere that this 45 million has come as if we were still a Championship club. That's what it'd be.
Well, this was reported when he first signed the contract.
It was, yeah.
18 months ago.
So really?
It's no massive surprise. Whether it's true or not, you're never going to get the club to
Dean Smith's not going to go out and go, yes, that's true, everyone.
To divulge that.
Yeah.
For a start, 45 million quid, probably wouldn't buy his floppy fringe nowadays. I know we're very biased, but even if, and I think the truth probably lies somewhere between the 2 versions. I don't think Villa have got a massive amount of cash to spend in January, and I do think that by the time you factor in this 3-year cycle, there's not much room to make losses.
Yeah.
Given the gambles that have been taken in the Championship. But having said that, I don't think that even if Villa were close to the brink, the rescue plan would be selling Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
I really don't.
No.
I know it's harder now for Villa to trim the wage bill and to, sell to bring in players, because the only ones there's not as much fat to trim, is there?
No.
If you look at that squad now, before they've been carrying some big...
massive Richards,
some big wage earners.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think there's that room to trim now, but I can't see how they think this is the perfect contingency plan. If it all goes horribly wrong, we'll sell Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
No, can't say either. Smith's just signing a new long-term deal as well. All the plans are in place. Can't see. Just got promoted as well, so I think Matt mentioned about the high spending in the Championship previously, but I think there could be truth in both aspects, but I'm edging towards Villa are fine, kind of thing. So
that's the narrative we want.
Christian Perslow's come out quite strongly, hasn't he?
Yeah, a few times.
Fairly regularly. He kind of speaks to the fans groups every couple of months.
Yeah.
And
jumped on Sky Sports at one point.
He also jumps on Sky Sports
well.
From time to time. And I remember when Dean Smith was unveiled. So we're talking just over a year ago, and Perslow was asked then about FFP, and he's always spoken quite bullishly, quite bluntly, quite boldly that Aston Villa won't fall foul of these rules. Now, interesting thing for me is that there's no real precedent in the Premier League for sanctions.
Yeah.
So I've always found it a bit of a kind of, I suppose, a bit of a fraud in a way that when people have got into financial trouble, the main sanctions they've had is to fine them.
Yeah.
And the fines, you know what I mean? I think if it did get to the stage where Villa were facing a points deduction at a time when it's so crucial, you know, we've all seen Villa often enough this season. Every point's been a slog, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That have tried to win. Then I can't see Villa and what we believe is a very trusted, very savvy set of owners and directors. I can't see them risking a situation that would demean their chances of staying in the Premier League and getting that extra 100 million, 130 million quid next year.
Yeah.
I can't see them doing it. I mean, perhaps I'm being naive. Naive.
Well, the spotlight's always going to be on Villa as well, because the amount of players who got through the door, wasn't it? 12 players in, it's unheard of, isn't it?
It almost feels a little bit, and I don't want to kind of disrespect the journalism industry. It feels like an easy story, doesn't it, to kind of point the finger and go, they've spent a lot of money, so they must be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say about the guy who's written it, he's been quite close to kind of EFL matters and FFP matters in the past. Certainly when he's working for the Times, he was pretty close to the situation with what happened down the road at Blues. I don't think he'd do this as a flyer.
Yeah.
He's obviously getting his information. Now, it's hard to test the theory, to stand this up. You know, we've invited Villa to comment on or off the record and to give us a steer, and that hasn't been forthcoming. Obviously, Dean Smith, we understand, has spoken to Sky and tried to play it down. It's just watch this space, isn't it? You know, let's hope that Villa get 55 points, so that if it does happen to be true and there's a 10-point deduction there, they've still got enough in the tank to get over the line. But yeah, I mean, I do think the FFP, the spectre of FFP, will have an impact on what happens in January. You know, it's my understanding that there won't be a great deal of business done, and if there is business done, it'll be loans rather than permanent acquisitions. But would Villa have splashed 130 million quid last summer if they thought it was going to put themselves in such jeopardy? I'm not convinced they would, to be honest. You know, they'd have probably bought one defensive midfielder rather than two. They'd have probably bought two centre halves rather than three.
It's definitely one striker though, probably.
Yeah, they bought half a striker.
So just going back to Carabao Cup matters, it's Leicester in the semi-final. What was your initial thoughts to get in that last night?
Like some kind of partridge thing, like Carabao Cup matters. Like mid-morning matters. What was the question?
Oh dear. What did you think when we got Leicester last night? Were they a team that you had looked at in the hat and thought, yeah, I quite fancy that?
In the video today that's gone round, Dennis Ward was having a little look at the balls as well.
No. Ooh, sneaky.
So, yeah.
He's a bit dismissive of Villa, wasn't he? Saying he'd done Vardy a favour or something
so,
by pulling Villa out of the back. Listen, it's a semi-final of a cup, isn't it?
Two legs, so anything can happen, kind of thing.
I think they've got to be a lot better, haven't they, than when they played Leicester.
We've got to play Leicester 4 times this season, and that scares me a little bit.
A couple of weeks ago.
Maybe
I don't know.
All their goals up in the first game.
I don't know. I think Villa over the course of 2 games. I like the fact that the home game is second.
Yeah.
And, you know, if they can go up there and be stubborn and still be in the tie, you know, Villa Park will be rammed, won't it? It'll be a bit busier and a bit livelier than it was for the last round of this cup. So I don't mind, really. I just think Aston Villa in the semi-final of a cup, it's nice, isn't it?
Sounds nice, doesn't it?
It was nice when they kind of put the teams all together to have the joint. It's like Man City, Man United, Leicester, Villa, and it's like nice to be still involved at this stage of a competition, regardless of what happens now. As long as we don't kind of humiliate. Look at that, squeaky chair.
Is that your hip replacement?
As long as we don't get kind of humiliated over 2 legs, then.
But yeah, why should they get humiliated? You know,
they beat us convincingly in the last game.
Yeah, but it's not a bloody giant killing, is it? If Villa go and beat Leicester,
no.
Do you know what I mean? It's not League 2 meets, I don't know, La Liga or whatever. It's Leicester, isn't it?
I know, but they are good though.
They are good, but Villa are a lot better than they were.
Maybe we'll have some new signings by then as well.
Can be a lot better than they were that last time out, can't they?
Yeah. So I kind of looked at it and thought maybe Man United is the one that I would fancy if I could pick.
Yeah, that's it.
Just as they're a bit weird.
Yeah, would you rather lose in the semi-final or the final?
The final? Oh, yeah, the final.
Neither is the answer.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, final, I guess. So why does that matter?
Because I just think...
I think we're more likely to lose in the semis against Man United than we would Leicester.
I don't want negative thoughts.
Okay.
It's Christmas. I think that over... Sorry, I know I've asked you a question and then just shut you off after your answer. I just think that Villa being in that and having a distraction, and a very welcome distraction, away from the Premier League slog of accumulating points in instalments, as tends to happen when you're near the bottom of the league. I just think it's something to look forward to.
Definitely.
Been really spoilt actually, trips to the new Wembley, considering it's been a bleak
I'd love to go
last
back again.
dozen years, or probably that's overdoing it, last 10 years in Villa's history. Still had plenty of visits to the new Wembley, and now we've actually found a way of winning there. Be lovely to go back, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Nice quote from my colleague Ben as well. He said, Brendan Rodgers hasn't lost a cup match since Villa beat his Liverpool side in 2015.
Wow.
So that's a little nice one.
Nice little nugget of information.
See if we can get Benteke and Dolph.
Maybe we can get them to put an under 19 side out, and then we'll be all right. Okay, so do you want to kind of wrap it up a little bit? Because I'm aware of you have got bigger commitments.
I hope it doesn't come across this way. It feels a bit tiring, doesn't it, this time of day?
It is weird, isn't it? Because obviously it's Thursday now, so
outside.
it's dark. Everyone's
Didn't work all day.
We've had a little Christmas party in the. I mean, I've pointed and no one can see, but in the office over there, there's a little.
It's like in Aladdin's Cave of sausage rolls.
Yeah, good pork pie over there. Check it out.
I'll take a doggy back to the hospital.
Had a little meeting in there, didn't we, earlier? Now,
Did Dan's appraisal in there earlier.
Yeah.
So we got a Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues, stuffing our face on cocktail sausages and strange flavoured Doritos. What were they?
That's barbecue, I think. They were really weird.
But on a serious note, the stuff that's not been used, and there is quite a bit. The party atmosphere didn't really get going, did it? So there's loads.
That's because we were having a meeting in there.
Well,
at the
yeah,
time.
probably that. Yeah, but there's loads of boxes of mince pies and crisps and stuff that I think is going to be donated to the food banks
nice.
today. So good on them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm aware of you've got bigger commitments than a podcast now. How dare you? So I kind of want to wrap up. We've got no questions, but there's one I missed last week, and someone tweeted me specifically about it saying, "Have you answered my question?" And I was like, "Ooh, sorry, no, I'll do it next time." So I was asked by Holly. She said, "Which song gets you in the mood for match day?" And I couldn't really think of an answer, so I'm going to change it because it's Christmas to what is your favourite Christmas song? A nice little debate.
Mine. Hopefully I can back it on in the car soon, driving home for Christmas.
Nice.
With my two girls, so hopefully, that'd be mine.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, God, I've got nothing as sentimental as that. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was going to give a genuine answer.
Do you know, I wouldn't say it's my favourite one, but it's the one that's come to mind because I sang it at karaoke at this place in the Cube the other day. Real kind of hipster place. And then me and my wife and our old mates kind of traipse in. We got this like karaoke. I can't remember what the place is called. Got this karaoke room and it's like graffitied in there.
Yeah.
And it is, anyway, I'll get to the song. It's, what's it called? Don't Let the Bells End by The Darkness.
Okay, yeah.
You know it, don't you?
Yeah, it's not what I wasn't expecting.
No,
an
but it's
answer like
kind
that.
of. I think that Justin Hawkins, who the lead singer of The Darkness, said that he wanted to create the perfect Christmas song by just seeing if you could put all the elements together, like the bells ringing in a children's choir, and do it like that and see if it works.
Yeah.
He just threw all these elements together that should work, and it did work. But I absolutely butchered it.
Nice.
The other week, but
You surprised me.
what would you think I was going to go for? Kind of
No, that
Little
you
Town of
butchered it, that you
Bethlehem.
butchered a karaoke song.
Oh right, I thought you meant that. What's yours?
A Fairy Tale of New York.
Is it?
The classic cliche answer. I think that's the best one.
Well, I've already mentioned that, hadn't I?
I know. It's in my, when you
didn't wanna
mentioned it, I was like, I've got it in my head now.
I didn't want to return to that, but I've been to a couple of carol concerts, and I do like I like "Oh Come All You Faithful" because you can you whisper it down, so it's "Oh Come All Ye." No, what is it? Yeah. "Oh Come, let us adore Him. Oh Come, let us adore Him. Oh Come, let us adore Him. Christ the Lord." It went a bit wobbly. Did I pull it back or not?
I feel sorry for the audio listeners who had to go through that experience.
We're not actually recording this.
That is, that'll go at the start. That
Merry
was
Christmas!
It's a little pre-intro.
I'm cringing inside now. I can just feel it.
You
but
did it.
I know.
That was unprovoked. I won't ask for
I
that.
like to bring a bit of value, don't I?
Yeah, fine.
It's the only place I'm going to keep my place on this panel.
Yeah, get Ty back in next episode. Best thing about Christmas? Just have a bit of Christmas chat now. I'm in the mood for it. It's end of week, isn't it? A lot of people, as we've been filming this, a lot of people have gone home while we've recorded this. Everyone's like, "Oh, see you in the new year." So I kind of feel like we're all winding down now.
Yeah, we have got that kind of last day at school kind of feel about it. You know,
bought in toys and done some coloring.
Yeah, bringing Connect 4 or whatever, or Guess Who and stuff like that. What's your favourite thing about Christmas?
Favourite thing about Christmas?
You're going to say something sentimental here, aren't you?
Trying to be, yeah.
Christmas is different for you now as a dad.
Will be, yeah.
It will be different.
I don't know. The time off, I suppose. And,
yeah.
I mean, that was I've said that the other day, didn't I? That was quite a length to go to just to get Christmas off.
Yeah. Nice. What about yourself? Favourite thing?
Well, I should really say stuff like family and togetherness.
That's what I was going to say.
Stuff. But you know what I think it is? Pigging blankets.
Oh, I was going to say that. Yeah.
It's got to be any.
Mate, yeah, they're the best.
Why are they only seasonal? Why are they not?
Why can't you eat a sausage with some bacon all year?
I'm telling you, mate. I've seen campaigns started on left.
Worst thing about Christmas? Just while
what's your favourite thing?
I said pigs and blankets. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Well, I'll just have pigs. You have blankets.
Okay. I do like a nice blanket as well at Christmas. An actual blanket. Just like
it reminds me of a gag.
Slobbing around the house.
Is it Gary Delaney, stand-up comedian? He tells this joke saying about, I really love Christmas. My favourite thing about Christmas is pigs in blankets, or the in-laws staying in the spare room, as I call them. Something like that. He delivers it better than that, I think.
Yeah. Nice.
What we say, the worst
thing as well. Just while we're here, we're just winging it now at this point.
This is my worst podcast about probably my rendition of "Oh Come All You Faithful" a few moments
ago,
awful. Which I apologise for.
I'm going to go food related again. Sprouts.
They don't like sprouts?
Oh, mate. Who likes sprouts?
I like sprouts.
I like sprouts.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable. Sprouts in blankets, mate.
Sprouts, like, if you put bacon in sprouts, that's worst thing.
Probably last
missing work because you love your job so much.
Yeah, that's it. Last minute shopping. Can't stand it.
Oh, have you done your Christmas shopping?
No.
Have you?
No, I've got to get my wife a surprise, haven't I? I've got to get her an Apple phone charger.
Wow, lucky lady.
So romance is dead. In a blanket.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it, isn't it, really? For this podcast. I'm editing this now, so it's 5:45 as we're filming this. I was not prepared to be in the office this long, so I do kind of want to wrap up and go home at some point, if that's all right.
You have to wrap up, mate. It's bitter out there.
Awful.
That's terrible. Did you not? We not got to do a plug for something else?
Yeah, we've got to do some Grealish stuff after this as well when you leave. So.
That's not part of this.
Yeah, but not. It's different. Well, I mean, we should have this conversation off air. We want to plug the Grealish podcast that we're doing, that we're about to record for. So obviously next week, a lot of people got time off because it's Christmas, so there won't be an episode next Monday because I'm not coming in. So
fair enough.
I assume neither of you will be here either.
Well, not now. No, you're not coming in.
Okay, fair enough. We might do an episode Boxing Day, not yourself. We might do something after Norwich,
Norwich, yeah.
Because obviously 3 big games next week. It feels a bit weird to kind of go, yeah, we're just going to go off for Christmas now and not talk about games and kind of give you filler stuff. So
we'll get together,
we might do something.
Doing the local or something then, I'll do.
Yeah, but we have got a Jack Grealish special podcast coming out hopefully Monday if I get my skates on tomorrow and get it edited and we film the bit we need to film.
You're up against this 6-week deadline now. I don't know how you managed it to be
it's terrible, isn't it? So yeah, talk about it. Obviously you've not seen any of it. You didn't shoot it with us.
Is that the Brian Jones?
Brian Jones.
Brilliant.
And his former head teacher Chris Bentley. You got the name right, by the way.
Bentley, yeah.
Chris.
Mr. Bentley.
And Lee Curtis from the Nottingham Post, who's the Notts County editor, who watched him when he went there on loan and reported on him and spoke to him. So we've got this kind of podcast, kind of the origin story of Super Jack.
We've just tried to do a bit of a background, haven't we? You know, he's become the main man. He's thrust himself. Captain of Aston Villa, very Roy of the Rovers, isn't it? And we just wanted to kind of try and find out a little bit of what the young Jackie Grealish was like. We're obviously coming to the end of the decade now. You know, it's been a hell of a decade for Jack, as it has for Aston Villa. And we just kind of wanted to get a bit of an insight into what he was like. You know, kind of. Did he play in the sandpit at school? You know, real kind of great insights like that.
The great questions we all want to hear the answer to.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Jones has been a massive mentor to him. He's obviously running the academy when Jack first arrived. So we've got some really nice stuff with him. Just got some nice family stuff really as well from Mr. Bentley, the head teacher at Jack's primary school. Just trying to tell. Everybody knows who Jack Grealish is now. He's one of the most famous, most recognisable footballers in the country. He will be the most when he finally gets that England cap, as Mr. Bentley will tell you. But I think it was just to kind of tell the story from a slightly different angle, really.
It is good. Not to kind of blow smoke up ourselves, but I've been working through it the last few days and it's coming together nicely. So
you've started doing that, have you? Started editing that? That's good to know.
I've been very busy making other things, I hope you know.
I know, I saw you eating the buffet.
I'm also waiting on you to do some bits for me.
Sounds like you're waiting on me then.
Not done
If you want to wait on me, you can fill one of these very nice Claret and Blue mugs.
Lovely segue to some more admin.
I've just spat it in then. I think I spat a bit of cold black coffee.
Christ.
I think we're going to... I don't know whether we're going to give them up. We're certainly not going to sell them yet.
We're not selling them. Not yet.
We'll give them away if people want them. Why don't we say we will give 5 of them away?
I've got a little competition lined up.
Oh, have you got one?
Yeah, carry on though. Maybe this is yours is better.
Well, what about if it's not?
Well, I'll let you
make a false promise. You'll have to edit it out.
Yeah,
I thought we'd just give 5 away to the next 5 iTunes reviews.
This is kind of
we get.
We're kind of on the same thing here, so we'll leave all that bit in, but we're going to change it to what I was going to do.
Oh, right, sorry about that.
So we asked for these mugs mainly, so asked for some to go on the table for us to kind of dress this little podcast a little bit. So I asked for about 10 and we'll give a few away as prizes, but the minimum order was 50, so we've got 50 of these. So I've nicked one for home as well.
I think that's a real show of faith in this podcast, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been going 3 weeks and we've got merch. Something unbelievable. So, yeah, we're not going to sell them. I put a tweet out yesterday and everyone was like, oh, are you selling mugs? And I was like, we might, but not yet.
You have got this reputation as some kind of
mug salesman now.
Mugmonger.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to give them away as prizes. You can take one home for you. Maybe a newborn. Maybe she'll enjoy it.
Have we not got a range of sippy cups?
No, not yet. We'll get that sorted. Yeah, we've got to bring some money in somehow. So we're going to give them away as prizes. I was going to do kind of 1 per episode or 1 every few weeks. So I was going to do the best iTunes review gets a mug.
What, in terms of the score they give us?
Yeah, like a nice review. Yeah, like the one that makes me laugh.
We're actually bribing them to say something nice.
Yeah, basically, yes. That's how these things work, mate. We've got to boost our engagement figures.
Okay.
So if you've already entered an iTunes...
I'm just taking one. I'm not leaving a review.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying nice things about these.
Mate, you don't sell this podcast well at all, do you? So if you've already entered an iTunes review, you'll be included in this.
My posture's
if you've yet to leave one and you're enjoying the show, or if you're not and you just fancy a free mug, just pretend you like it and leave us a nice iTunes review and we'll get one of these lovely mugs to you somehow. Ideally, if you're in Birmingham and you want to come and collect it so we don't have to post it, that would be nice.
Yeah. You might get a guest slot on the podcast if you do that as well.
Yeah, come on the podcast for 5 minutes as well if you want. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. All the admin out the way. As I say, no kind of fresh episode next Monday because of Christmas holiday time. The Jack Grealish podcast should be Monday. If that doesn't come out on Monday, I've not edited it in time and I may be getting the sack.
Yeah, well, we've just done your probationary appraisal, haven't we? So
it went well if anyone's interested.
Yeah, well, we'll just... I haven't sent it off yet, mate, so let's just see how that podcast does.
Yeah, so that'll be Monday.
If you do get the sack, you can have one of these mugs.
Can I have 2?
Yes.
Thank you. So that'll be Monday. We'll do something Boxing Day or before Watford.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back in on... Are you back on the 30th, I think?
Yeah.
Is that Monday?
Back on Monday the 30th.
So we'll have a fresh episode Monday 30th to talk about Watford and potentially the other games as well. You're back sort of middle of January.
Mid-January, yes, I'm out to the new year, like Mings. Yeah, mate. Ruled out.
Nice. Ruled out with injury. So we'll be having a substitute appearance from somebody at some point. Maybe Ty, maybe somebody else. We'll see. So yeah, enough rambling. Time to go home and enjoy Christmas.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Merry Christmas. We'll see you soon.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to Claret and Blue and Aston Villa podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please do let us know. We love hearing your thoughts and comments. We'll be back soon with another episode. Until then, up the Villa.